When your loved one is in the hospital, you might feel really worried and stressed out, and that might make it hard to sleep at night. What I'm going to talk to you about today is 4 tips that are going to make it a lot easier for you to support your loved one in the hospital, and so that you are feeling really calm, and it's going to be as easy as your nighttime bedtime routine. That's calming and really stress-free and helps you sleep. My first tip is that it's really important that we all brush our teeth, right? I have this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar size toothbrush that my husband got at Costco, and it's one thing we all need to do with our evening routine. So the same thing for in the hospital, and brushing your teeth is the same as talking to the discharge planner. Now, when you talk to the discharge planner or brush your teeth, you're going to they might be called something different. So there are 3 different words the discharge planner is called. It could be a discharge planner, could be a social worker, or it could be a case manager. So in my family, we use 3 different kinds of toothpaste and they call discharge planners 3 different names. So if you don't get to the right person when you ask for one of those, ask for the other. A social worker or discharge planner, social worker, and case manager. Then you're going to need to ask them 3 questions. So the second thing that I need you to do after you brush your teeth and call the case manager or discharge planner is you need to ask, what are your options? And for nighttime, that means what are your pillow options? So what that means is where might this person go at the end of the night once they leave the hospital? So you ask, what are my loved one's options for when they discharge from the hospital? Are they going to a memory foam pillow, which might be a rehab center? Are they going to a nursing home, which might be this nice Casper pillow? Or do they have the option of this smaller care of going home to their own home? So those might be 3 of the options, but you want to ask, what are my loved one's options when you speak with the case manager? The next part of your evening routine to pay attention to is what is covered by your insurance. So I equate that with the moisturizer that you use to cover your face. And you put on your face at night for coverage. Well, the same thing, you want to ask, of these different options, which ones are covered by my insurance and how much is covered? What does that look like? So it might be that you have a lot of coverage. You have this great Neutrogena moisturizer. You have this kind of expensive option for coverage, this Ulta MD moisturizer. Or you kind of don't have much coverage, it's pretty basic, and you've got a bar of soap for your moisturizer. So that's the third thing, is asking the discharge planner what is covered by my insurance for these different options for my loved one for discharge. And then the 4th thing that you need to pay attention to, and the question to ask the discharge planner is, I equate it to, before you go to bed, you set your alarm for the next day. And what I mean by that is you ask the discharge planner, when do we need to make a decision about my loved one's discharge? Whether they're going to rehab or nursing facility or home. What is our timeline? And when do we need to set our alarm to tell you what we want for their discharge plan and what makes the most sense for our family? When do we need to set our alarm? Is it by Tuesday? Is it by Friday? Is it you're not sure yet? So that means we have a couple more days to decide. But when are they likely to discharge, and when do we need to make a decision about their options for discharge? So I hope that is helpful for you. I'm Jenny Reynolds with Graceful Guidance, and that is my 4 tips for when your loved one is in the hospital and you are worried about them and it's hard to sleep at night. Follow these 4 tips so that you can feel calm and less stressed about this process. So first tip, brush your teeth. Call the discharge planner, case manager, social worker. That's 3 names for one person, but the hospital calls them different things, so call them. Second is find out what are your options for care for the discharge of my loved one. Could they go to rehab, nursing facility, home? And what sort of pillow is that? The next question you're gonna ask, which is my third tip, is what is covered by my insurance coverage. So of these options, what is covered by my loved one's insurance? And then the fourth tip is, when do we need to make a decision by? When do we need to set our alarm before we go to bed to know when we need to tell you what we think is going to be the best discharge plan based on what you're recommending and these different options that my loved one has. So again, Jenny Reynolds with Graceful Guidance. My website is www.jennythecaremanager.com, and you feel free to find out more information about me there. Thanks, and have a great day.